Yeah, 10, 12 reps. Plus I have a weekly one-on-one with you as an owner, and we believe in the old whiteboard routine. We pull the whiteboard, we write things down, and we go on a journey every week, and we look at what our short-term, mid-term, long-term goals are.
Welcome to the Real Construction Owners Podcast, where we interview real construction owners doing big things within our industry to help you go from becoming a stressed out, overworked CEO to becoming a real construction owner who gets to thrive and live the life of your dreams. Today, we have a special guest, John Abarnathy, owner of Abarnathy Roofing and Construction, crushing it, doing $15 million this year. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
And I am truly blessed and I am highly favored, living my dreams here in Costa Rica. Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
So talk to us. Before we dive into all the goods that you have in your processes and your investments and your most expensive lessons, I want to ask you, how did all this get started? Tell us a story about, why you started this.
So my grandfather was in construction most of my life. I had grown up as a kid. He was a new construction builder, and I grew up around new homes going up, and remember picking up rocks in the yard and throwing them in the foundation and helping out. And he had retired a few years before I got out of high school, and it was just always a dream of mine. I was like, man, I want to grow the brand, and so I didn't take his company. I actually started my own. And so we started in 2001, and I started alone by myself, had me a little tool trailer set up. And I remember the first job I done, it was a little porch addition down in a small town close to here. And just kind of over the years, gained knowledge. We ended up moving over pretty heavily in the insurance restoration game. And really, that's what changed my life, was the insurance restoration game and getting the knowledge of how to deal with insurance companies appropriately.
Yes, sir. It's all about acquiring skill sets as a business owner. When you do that, you can then find the person to run your organization. So let's talk about that. Culture and who is running your organization. How are you making it to where you're the visionary and other people are doing the work?
Yeah, so the way that things run today, so I think I learned like most business owners do, and we learn in the School of Hard Knocks. There hasn't always been podcasts and things where people can actually learn and grow. Back in the day, you kind of had to figure it out on your own. And probably the greatest thing that we ever did was we brought culture. I wish you could see my room here. It's got our vision statement, mission statement.
Show it. Let's turn it.
So core values on the wall. Here, we'll move around.
Nice. Love it.
Boards there. So anyways, this is our training center. Maybe kind of hard to see. He put me on the spot. But
dude, oh my God, that's awesome. Can we see that? Okay. Here, can you read it to us?
Yes. So to equip people with the knowledge, empower them with desire to succeed, and establish a continual character of excellence. So that's our mission statement. Vision statement is pretty simple. Can you read it?
Yes, sir. Creating a legacy of excellence in the construction industry.
Yeah. So we have a real nice area. So I don't know if you can see in the back of our training center. And then we have a pretty nice, good sized training center. So we bring in national speakers. We're really big in training people. We think that knowledge is power, and we believe that culture is everything. If you don't have a strong culture to start with, which is your foundation, then you have nothing. That's what we believe. So we focus a lot on, we're a very strong cultural company. We meet all the time. We have game nights here. We get to know each other. We believe that we're really, really big in accountability matrix with our people. Our team, even ourselves, we have about a 12 member sales team here locally, and each one of them are held accountable by a sales coach. So we have our own sales coach that meets with them weekly, one-on-ones for an hour, and then we have our Monday morning meetings. And we believe that culture and accountability are the two main things as an organization that will make you successful. And I believe as an owner, and I'm sure you've heard this your whole life, but we believe that as an owner, me and my wife kind of run it together, that we are to work on the business, not in it. So part of growth has been our ability to work on the company and not in the company. It's really, really hard. I've noticed, I speak with, I feel like at least one or two other companies nationally a week that call me through other influencers that might give information. And one thing I learned is they can't scale because they can't get out of the way. So we believe in staying out of the way, hiring good people, bring them into our culture, educating them, and basically holding them accountable to the things that we teach.
Dude, I love that. What you just said is powerful. I highly suggest you check out this book called The Dream Manager by Matthew Kelly, because you already have a coach, a sales coach, meeting with these people one-on-one.
Yep.
And to add fuel to that fire, if he reads that book, basically he taps them into their dreams. He finds out their dreams and he checks off with them. Hey, you hit this dream. You got to mountain bike in Arkansas. Oh, cool. You got to buy your wife that necklace. Like everybody has these dreams, but they don't really share them. So
Sure.
Wanted to make that suggestion because you're doing what is right. Can you elaborate about your sales coach, meeting with them one-on-one, how you pay this person? Go a little deeper on that.
So JD, his name's JD. So we brought JD in cautiously because as an owner, and I used to get a lot of calls from different people saying, hey, we can bring this to the company. We can help you with this. We can help you with that, and marketing and this and that. So I brought him in and he wanted a year. He's an outsource. He does not work W-2 for me. He's an outsource. We like it that way. Has a company called Higher Vision. And basically I signed a 6-month contract because I wanted to check it out and see how it would work on the accountability side. And he killed it. So now he has an exclusive, as long as he wants to say, I would not do business without an accountability sales coach with the sales team. They meet every week.
Amazing.
We plug people into B&I groups to about every chamber that there is in the area, and we have people plugged in. Our guys have to go out, like for us, working in the insurance industry. We want them to go build relationships with insurance agents. We actually bring people in here. We bring agencies into our office, to our training center, and we actually train insurance agents on the way that the insurance model works because they don't even understand it. And it really is a huge benefit to growing a business and actually helping your guys grow clientele. So we believe in.
Where did you learn that? Where did you learn that tactic? I've heard this pop up from time to time.
I was laying in bed one morning, and like you said, as owners, we have to be visionaries, and so I was laying in bed. I come back, I meet with my team, and I get my vice president of operations. I get my general manager in, and I'm like, we need to start seeing if we can really educate insurance agents locally. So we did. And so we started bringing in groups, and I have a presentation I do that I created on a slideshow, and we basically take them through and show them how things work in the insurance model. And it will blow your mind. Like, we have whole insurance companies locally that are like, we'll never send anybody to anybody other than you guys, because when you build the relationships and you empower them and give them knowledge, they trust you and they don't want to work with anybody else.
That's incredible, man. You're light years ahead some of the people that I'm talking to. That's why you're an 8-figure company on pace to do $15 million this year. Contractors, pay close attention to the nuggets you're going to learn from this gentleman. He's went through the school of hard knocks and figured some stuff out. So as far as what I should budget to hire this gentleman from Higher Vision, is that what it's called?
Yes. We pay, I don't know what people consider a lot, but I pay about $2,500 a month. To me, he's worth his weight in gold. That's cheap for the value that he brings to the table. And like that's for about 10 reps, 12 reps. Yeah, 10, 12 reps. Plus I have a weekly one-on-one with you as an owner, and we believe in the old whiteboard routine. We pull the whiteboard, we write things down, and we go on a journey every week, and we look at what our short-term, mid-term, long-term goals are and how we're going to get there. And it really helps an owner if you'll get a whiteboard out and write things down one-on-one like that, to really structure your mind around where you're going and keep you on track and keep you focused. So he also meets with my management team too. So everybody has a one-on-one, and then we have a management meeting every week with him for about 2 hours. We have a Monday morning kickoff meeting with the whole team, and then they leave after about an hour. It's kind of neat with culture. We do a thing called buckets and celebrations. So it gives everybody a chance to celebrate somebody else in the company for something that they've done, or fill their bucket, I guess you would say. And then also just celebrate the company, celebrate somebody, and it really helps keep that culture going. We make sure.
God. Dude, you're dropping bombs here. Like, this is high level stuff, bro. Do you know the format of the call that he has with your salesman?
Basically, so obviously we have numbers that we want them to hit. It's not always about numbers, though. We've learned with culture, it's not about numbers. It's about work ethic. So you can take a guy that's going to go out and work really, really hard, and maybe he doesn't close the deals that week. And so, we look more than just numbers. I know a lot of companies are always focused on dollars, and we focus more on our people and more on what can we do to serve them. I mean, we definitely are more servant minded. So we've learned over the years that servant leadership is the way to go. I know a lot of people argue with that because they think servant leadership means you're going to get ran over. I believe you can be a servant leader and not get ran over, because we don't. But basically, back to your question, he meets with them and, hey, did you make it to this B&I group? What deals do you have in the pipeline? What are you prospecting? What's an estimating? Okay, how can we move these things that you've estimated this week? How can we get those to closed, basically? And so it's kind of nice for an owner, because every week I meet, we have our whiteboard up, everybody's on it, and we go down through and we see what's in the pipeline. So I know what I'm expecting to close the next week in deals. And so we basically give them support saying, how can we help move this to the next phase? How can we get it from estimate or prospecting to estimating to close, basically? And so he meets, talks about that, where are your numbers at? Did you make it to the B&I group? Basically, like, we try to serve them. I mean, what can we do to make your life better? And you will hang, and when you do that, they feel confident, and you will hang on to reps long term, and you get some really good ones. So,
man, this is serious nuggets right here. See, he comes from a place of service. He understands the golden rule. The more value you provide to people, the more you get blessed or compensated. I see you're a man of faith. I love that. Thanks for that. That's you and I, fist bump. Yep. Now I'm curious about your channeling partnering you mentioned early before this recording. Talk to us about how a construction company can do these tactics. What do you do, and how has it been beneficial?
So as a construction company, I know if you're a 8-figure company, you're probably going to have sales reps. I mean, sales is kind of the backbone of any industry in America. So channel partners are an easy way to grow your top line revenue. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to put on a bunch of W-2 salespeople and have to, so I could easily go put 25 or 30 W-2s on, or I can channel partner with another business and to bring in leads. And so through channel partnering, we're basically getting the same leads that our salesmen may be out. Maybe they're door knocking or going to an event and getting, but you're actually working with another company. So even in roofing, even really locally here, there's a lot of roofs that my company won't get on. I'll never see that other companies do. And it gives them an opportunity to pitch the other things like solar energy. So I think I answered.
So you approach these HVAC companies, these siding companies. What are some other companies that can be a good channel partner?
Home security. Basically, honestly, if you want to be creative, anybody that gets in front of a homeowner.
Okay, and then how do you get them trained up, and how do you compensate them? Like, how is it beneficial to them?
So not going into too much, it would take forever to go through all that, but so we have basically a 3-tier system, and it's all in how involved you want to be. So if you're just a lead generator, obviously we're going to pay you less. If you also, we give support. So if you are somebody that wants to learn and wants to go generate leads and close them, we're going to pay you more. And then also, like, if you're a company and you want us to come in and train and give you ongoing support, we have a program for that too.
That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy right now. There's a gold rush, and most roofers are kind of in their own way, which I understand. I was for the longest time, but I decided that I do what I need to invest in myself, invest in masterminds, and learn from the biggest companies, $100+ million companies. And one of the things that I keep saying that we're crushing it in, and I know you're crushing it in, is how you implemented solar into your roofing business. What has been the benefits, and how has it increased your revenue, your bottom line, your profits?
So I know, like, even this year from April 1st to August, I believe it was August 1st, we were up 80%. And a lot of that was from, doing retail work and from moving over to this, really hitting the solar part. Most companies though, I feel like you can double your bottom line. I mean, if you can take a roofing deal and turn it into a solar roof combination deal, you're basically doubling your bottom line profits. It's a no-brainer for every single company that sells roofing should be selling solar.
No
Absolutely.
brainer. Listen to what John just said,
leaving
guys.
money on the table.
You're leaving money on the table because you're already scheduling the free inspection. You might as well schedule the free energy analysis. And
Absolutely.
Listeners, pay close attention. We have RCO Solar where we help contractors. You schedule the free energy analysis and my closers will close your deals. In the last 9 deals we've showed for our contractors, we've closed 7 of them. And the deals on average are over 80,000 and you get
Correct.
fat commissions. So do your salespeople. So that's my shameless plug for RCO Solar. And John, I appreciate you sharing that solar is something that people need to be selling. I want to dive a little deeper into your process. Instead of hiring 1099 salespeople, you mentioned you hired W-2 salespeople. How do you pay them? What's their training process like? What are their KPIs? Talk to us.
So all of our salespeople have at least 100 hours of training a year. We do 100 hours of continuous education. So we believe, I know that probably sounds crazy, especially in the winter, but we believe in knowledge. Like I said, we want people to be trained. We stay on top of new products. I don't like sending anybody out to a job that's not educated. All of my sales reps, we do some construction work too. I actually take them through a light engineering type training so they understand structures on houses. If you're putting roofs on, you need to understand what you're nailing a roof to and what you're looking at when you have a problem. So we run all types of sales training. We work with Adam Bensman, the roof strategist, on a lot of his stuff also. But about 100 hours a year, they're sitting in meetings and they hate me by the end of March usually, but they love it when they know what they're doing. So our salespeople, I mean, there's a lot of different ways of paying sales. My sales guys aren't allowed to project manage jobs. So we have a separate, completely, I call it putting a brick wall between sales and project management. Salespeople need to be focused on selling all day long, every day. And project managers are a whole different level of people that need to be focused on customer service and customer satisfaction. I've seen the industry change in the 20 years I've been in business to now most of your clients, they really expect, I mean, most people just want their butts wiped, to be honest. I mean, you have to do a really good job with people and on the service side. So used to, it was a lot different. So we really put a huge focus on we have a pretty good sized project management team, and we put service ahead of sales because we believe that service is what's going to grow sales in the future. Pay wise, we pay basically, I guess there's a lot of different ways. And a lot of people do like a 10-50-50 split and different things with salespeople. We pay about 30% of profit. So, and then all of our project management team is all salary. So we don't.
I'm curious though, if they're W-2, how do they pay? Maybe it's my ignorance, but how are you paying them profit if they're W-2? Because when I hear W-2, I hear that you get a weekly, $500, $700.
You do. You have to pay. So a lot of companies think that they're still living in the realm of 1099 employees. And I'm telling you, about 3 or 4 years ago, we were really growing, and the IRS came in and they nailed my rear end, and I got fined. I had to go back and pay payroll tax on a bunch of employees that I had as 1099 employees, and they are not 1099 employees. They're actually W-2 employees. So I think that you're going to see in the construction industry, especially with the new bill that was just passed, the IRS is really going to start coming down hard on construction companies that have people that are on 1099s. That 1099 is somebody that owns a business, that has insurance and license, and they work for other people other than just myself. And they made that very clear to me whenever they wrote me a nice big fancy fine that my accountant said, pay it and don't ever do that again. So
that must have been a very expensive mistake. I was about to ask you next.
That was the biggest mistake I ever made in business.
Okay. Can you elaborate how painful that was? How much it cost? Talk to us.
A lot. Okay. I'm going to say a lot of money. A lot. I'm just going to say that
50 plus grand, 100 plus grand,
more than that. So what they can do is they can come in to your business anytime they want, and they can audit you, and they can look and they can identify if you're 1099 employees or if you're paying on a W-2. And if they do, and you get caught, you're going to get a fine. Plus you're going to go back up to 7 years, and they're going to charge you for all of the Social Security and unemployment tax that you did not pay on those employees. And so that's kind of what happened to myself. And so the best thing you can do is put people on as a W-2. And I mean, because these were all sales, most of these people that we were doing this with were sales people, and they let me know that they were not identified. You cannot identify those at 1099s. So what we had to do is, you were correct. W-2 people have to be paid at least minimum wage. So we have them on a draw system, but we still pay them commission. So as long as we're paying them a draw every week, we can just, as they close jobs and get commission, they just pay their draws back, basically, in a nutshell.
That is brilliant, brother. So you're paying like a minimum wage, $400 or $500 a week for the guy. He's got to have KPIs though, which are
right. So yes and no. So you just hit on the head. So it really depends on the person. Like, you're not going to bring a new rep in sales and say, hey, I'm going to pay you $2,000 or $3,000 a week starting out. So we start them out, like you said, about 500, or I think it's like $550, $600. But we will move you up rather quickly if you're closing deals. I mean, but what we have now, we've identified something else in the industry that a lot of people do, is they hire sales reps like crazy, but they don't ever really take the time to interview properly and actually identify. And what we've identified is that roofing sales and construction sales is considered high-level sales professionals. Okay, there's a difference between somebody selling construction and somebody that is selling mattresses. Okay. So we've identified high-level sales professionals and where to get them, how to recruit them. And so the team I have now, we went through at one time a place where we had 12, 15 reps, and the top 4 or 3 of them were producing 80% of the money for the company. And so as I began to talk in the industry, I realized other companies were dealing with the same thing. So obviously we're like, this doesn't work. Why even have the other 8 reps when the 4 here are producing 80%? And so we started realizing, hey, these other guys are not high-level sales professionals, but the 3 or 4 here are. So we basically went through a time where we were like releasing people like crazy. I know at one time it got very uncomfortable for myself, because the room went from being full down to just a few reps. And you want to talk about running a multi-million-dollar company with crazy overhead and looking around in a room and seeing 3 or 4 sales reps sitting there because you've released the rest of them. But it worked. We began to interview, hire slowly, release quickly, make sure we were hiring within culture, people that didn't mind that were coachable, but yet people that were high-level sales. So we've replaced all of them. So everybody that we have in the company now are very, very heavy producers. So you don't have to have 20 sales reps. You can have 10 that produce heavily and get the same results.
And with the interview process, they come in the first week or 2 or 3. Do you have some requirements or some, like, they have to get this done?
So yeah, so we have different training. I mean, we have our own YouTube channel that's private that we have all of our training videos on organized. That's something that I would always encourage people to do, because if not, you become like myself or one of my people, and I call it being a tape recorder. We hire more people and we do say the same thing over and over and over. So we learned quickly, hey, let's do some high quality production and let's produce some very, very nice training videos on every aspect of what we do. So basically the first couple of weeks when you come in, you're going to spend a lot of time, I know that sounds crazy, watching a lot of videos and doing a lot of training. And then we take I think the next couple of weeks after that, my sales manager, takes them out and spends a lot of time with them, going around on different roofs, making sure they understand how to do estimates and assess damages and all that stuff. And typically, like I said, in the first 30 days, you're not going to produce a whole lot. We want to make sure you're trained as good as we can get you. And then moving forward, we have like a 60-day evaluation, 90-day evaluation. And then if you're hitting your numbers by then, we don't do any more evaluations. We just turn you over to our sales coach, and he works with them and he holds them accountable. And if we see people that are really slacking off, we honestly, to be honest with you, we get rid of people pretty quick, because we have to protect the culture of what we're doing.
I love that. And One thing that we implemented, I come from Vector Marketing, Cutco Knives, where they trained us to be high-level salespeople and convince people to spend thousands, $5,000+ on cookware and knives, and sold millions of dollars worth of that stuff. But the purpose is when a new person comes into my business, we get them to write down all their friends, all their family, their grandma, their insurance agent, and they're going to have a grand opening where they schedule appointments just for solar for our closers to close for them. And that has generated stupid amount of sales for my company. And if you're not doing that, I want to suggest that, because
I have one next week.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
we have a dinner, so we feed everybody dinner. And we do up to like 15 family, husband and wife at a time. They come in, they eat dinner. We give away some gift cards and we educate them on solar energy. And yeah, you're correct. So your close rates are through the roof on that type of event.
Oh gosh, bro. I wish we were like neighbors. I'd like hang out with you. You're a smart dude. You need to come out, bring your family out to Costa Rica. I'll show you where all the good spots are at.
Yeah, love to.
Hey, so I'm curious, what's your best success secret that you have for contractors trying to grow their business?
Best success secret. I mean, honestly, I think I went over it. I mean, I think that is making it not all about you. I see so many companies, the owners make it. I mean, I know that's not deep, but we've made it about our people. And if you make it about your people and you help them become successful, you will be successful. And we put all of our time and effort into making it about our team. And we serve our team hardcore, and that is what's made us successful.
Oh man, I love that. What's an investment that you've made that surprised you?
I mean, we invest a lot of money in real estate. So we kind of have a rule of thumb about at the end of the year, whatever our bottom line profits are, we keep half in the company to grow the company. We take the other half and then we invest in real estate. So we have it's called Abarnathy Enterprise. We have an investment company. And that has been, especially in the last few years, has been phenomenal. I mean, we've done very, very well.
As far as real estate, you and I are speaking the same language. I've generated a net worth, a very high net worth through real estate. When it comes to your office, do you own the office? Do you rent the office for all your locations?
No, we own. We lease one of them. We own the main one here. We own. And that's another thing those are great investments. I mean, when I bought this location, I think I paid a few $100,000 for it, and now it's worth in the millions. I mean, you just can't go wrong in real estate, no matter what.
No, you cannot. And as far as creative real estate strategies, are you buying foreclosures? Are you buying houses that are ready? Are you fixing them up and burning them? For our audience who doesn't know about this stuff, because everybody wants to become an investor, they're stuck in the construction. But where we're at is we're investors who uses construction to fund our investing. So sure. What's your strategy in real estate?
So it's going to probably surprise you, but right now, so I always have several new construction homes going right now. So all of that I keep for rental property or new construction. I build new ones constantly. Like I'm getting ready to start a 50 house subdivision that I'm keeping them and retaining them all for investment properties. So I've got another small one I'm finishing up right now. So we keep that stuff just kind of trickling all the time. And as soon as they get done, we put a renter in them. And I don't think we'll ever go wrong holding real estate.
Brilliant. And as far as financing these deals, how do you fund them?
So basically what I do is I build new. So I buy a piece of land, I develop it. Some of them are mini subdivisions with as little as 4 houses. One I'm doing right now has 4. I fund them cash. Basically, I build them cash, and then I go back to the bank and borrow back 70-80% is what I do. Because you don't have to come up with any cash out of pocket. So you're just rolling your cash and I mean, if you're building it, you're acting as GC. You can usually what your down payment would be off the appraisal. That's your down payment. It's just you being a general contractor.
Brilliant. What he just said, guys, is the BRRRR method, where you can buy something, you can renovate it. In his case, he's buying land, he's building it up, and then he's putting a renter in it, and then he's going to the bank and refinancing, getting 80% of all that money back. And then he has all that money to go do it again.
The 80% becomes 100%. I mean, you're basically getting all your money back. Yeah.
Yeah. So and your tenants are paying that monthly note.
Yeah, plus you're making a return, so every month.
And you get tax write-offs.
Oh my gosh, the tax write-off, if it's worth anything, it's worth the tax write-offs, especially the land improvement tax write-off of 15% the first year. I mean, that's incredible.
Gosh, man, I have this vision out here in Costa Rica. There's this lot. It's 17 acres, and these houses are for 0.2 acres with a little house. They're selling for 500 grand before they even hit the market. And there's 15 acres for 500 grand. So I'm like, oh man, I've got my money tied up everywhere. It's like, I'm trying to figure out how to get that money because there's a stack of cash waiting for that development.
Yeah. And that's how we started. I mean, we, obviously all of us, I think a lot of us probably I know I came from a pretty poor family.
Same here.
Didn't have a whole lot. And so I was a penny pincher from a young age, had to learn how to save money. And I mean, a lot of construction companies will come in. I've seen people blow up and as soon as they get a little bit of money, because they never had any, they go blow it all. And we've just reinvested. And now we live off our investments. Basically, it's what makes our living. It pays for our house and everything we have. So
true financial freedom is where you have enough passive income coming in to satisfy all your monthly expenses. And you're living that, man. God bless you for putting in the right steps.
And it also helps when you own a company that you don't have to rely on that company to make your living. Your initial basis, core things of making a living are all paid by your investment company. And then this company, whatever you make, you can do whatever you want, or, do a little more. We're kind of at the 21 years in. Our employees, we've been good to them. They're good to us. So, we just got back from Bahamas. We take some trips and spend some time with our family now. And a lot of things we couldn't do in the past because we spent all of our time working. So it's kind of nice.
I'm curious, are that development you're doing, what state is that in?
It's in Missouri.
Missouri. Okay. And for anybody who is interested in growing with an incredible organization, John, tell us what state you're in and how somebody can get a hold of you, whether they want to be a subcontractor or come work with you. Let us know.
So at this point, we're in Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. We operate in all 4 states. It's called the 4-state area here. So we live in Southwest Missouri. So we're basically 20 minutes from, I could be in all 4 states if I took off right now and drove an hour circle. So we're real close to the state lines. So you can reach out to me with my email, John@Abarnathy, CONST, lightconstruction.net, or I can give my phone number out too, is fine. 417-438-2659. Yeah, I take a lot of calls from companies, seems like on a monthly basis. So
one of my last and final questions, I might have 2 for you, depending on the answer, is sure. What do you feel is your best process in your business that you're most proud of?
Probably the process that I'm in love with a lot of the stuff we've come up with. It's been great, but probably our project management, our customer relations process that we have through our CRM that we work through. One of the hardest things to overcome in any company is, in my opinion, I don't even think it's opinion, I think it's fact, is communication. And I think our process of communication is top notch. Our customers are communicated with extremely well, and we have very, very little issues with communication in the company.
Is that is that so they understand when the materials are going to be, when the job's going to happen? Do they get automated text, automated emails? Can you elaborate a little more on why you're so proud of that process?
Well, because we set it all up. So at certain milestones, so I actually have a controller. So like with our project management team, we have a controller Kim is sitting in the office today right now, and we have several project managers, and she controls the workflow basically through a board system. And when it hits certain milestones, it sends automations to the homeowner. So we were able to get all the automations set up that streamline processes to where you're not on the phone nonstop calling customers, and it works extremely well. And the follow-up at the end of the process of the project, I've heard a lot of customers say, man, we really felt like, we got neglected once the job was done. And so we've come up with a really good process of, as soon as we don't leave material sitting on job sites, so anything that's left after a job, we are dealing mainly with homeowners. So we want to make sure that some little kid isn't going to come out and getting some flashing or shingles are left laying in somebody's yard. So every job we have, if there's a job complete today, that material will be picked up today. And there'll be a customer care walk around, within 24 hours. We've really got it down to where people don't wait at all to get a great service.
Customer care, is that your salesperson or somebody different?
It's our project management team. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, we have a customer care call at the end. We have a final walkthrough with our customers. We even have our own inspector that goes around and inspects all of the roofs and stuff that get done on a weekly basis. Take photos, make sure that everything's just. I mean, we put 3 sets of eyes on every single roof that gets done.
Man, that's really a deep process. Your customer care call at the end, like act like I'm the homeowner. I just got my roof built. What how does that go down? You're on the phone with me. Hey.
I've never done one. I have people that do that. So you put me on the spot. But I know it's really good because I get calls. So here's how I look at things. Okay. I get a couple, 3, 4 calls or letters in the middle of a month, every single month from homeowners that want to let me know how well our team has done for them.
Wow.
And I think that's good because most of the time as owners, the only time you hear from a homeowner is when it's bad. So it's been really, really unique to have several homeowners a month or a year that reach out and say, hey, I want to let you know as an owner, you're doing a good job with your people. But, we have a questionnaire. I don't have one on me. You put me on the spot that basically they call and ask a series of questions. How was the sales team? How do they treat you? Were they pushy? Rate them basically on a scale of 1 to 5. And how was the install? Were you notified when material was being delivered? Were you notified when the crew was going to show up? If anything changed, were you notified? We want to make sure that communication is going well. And then all those forms get filled out and they go back to my management team and they review them monthly. And then if there's a major issue, then I get involved. I haven't had an issue in months. So I don't.
John,
no news is
bravo. Bravo. Everybody, contractors, give this man a round of applause. We today crushed it, John. You delivered the goods, brother. You're started out 20 plus years ago, and now you have a thriving roofing and construction business, and solar has increased your bottom line tremendously. You're doing amazing with channeling partnerships through HVAC and siding companies. You have WT employees, which attracts quality people, and you train insurance agents. Oh my God, mind blown. And on top of that, you delivered bombs on how to protect your company against, IRS issues. And then lastly, your customer care department. Phenomenal information, man. This has been a blast. I appreciate you delivering, and let's connect again in the future, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.